Welcome on our booth. Today we are going to talk about counter-UAS, so the main threat that we see today, would it be in Middle East or in Ukraine. So as you know, for the context, the threat is evolving fast. Would it be from the technology because drones are hybriding, or talking about swarms, so lots of drones coming on the same time on the same target. So this type of drone are becoming kind of a weapon of mass attrition, and this is a very tricky point regarding the use and the balance of what is a technology or level readiness we use to tackle this. So in the meantime, we see that in civilian context, it's also useful to have a system which is protecting critical assets. And again, we saw that in the recent events, would it be, for example, in Middle East, people were asking to have this type of products being deployed. So it's a very first time that in MBDA, in fact, we have a product which is both disposable for military customer and civilian customer. And for us, it's a major tweak. So how do we cope with this need? So MBDA has developed a product which is called Sky Warden. So Sky Warden is mainly a core C2, where we make data fusion from several sensors, and then we give the good track to the effector. What we call the core value is, we call the TWA. So TWA is threat evaluation and weapon assignment. So how do you define which is the threat classification, how do you track it, and then you define the good effector to go on it. So we have this core C2, and then just for the history, we are coming from what we call Licorn. So Licorn was a C2 aiming to coordinate Mistral. So here on the vehicle, we got this turret. So this turret is able to fire up to 4 Mistral. And with Licorn C2, you can coordinate several vehicles on the terrain. So then coming back to the counter-UAS, because we all know that we are not going to tackle threats only with Mistral. You're not going to destroy a Mavic with Mistral. That's kind of absurd. We have developed several effectors, so I'll show you. So we come from laser. So MBDA is involved into laser development from several years. We are partnering with a company which is called CLAS, and we are shareholders of CLAS at 50%. So this is not the real size of the turret, but still the aim is to be, so the real size is probably twice this one. So the aim is to defeat mini micro drones with a low power laser. And then we come into another type of effectors. We will come onto what we call hit-to-kill drone. So hit-to-kill drone seems like a little drone. Lots of drone makers today are saying that they are drone making interceptors. The real trick is having the DNA of a missile maker into a drone. And this is where we bring our value. So for this, we are partnering with an OEM, which is called Novadem. So Novadem is doing the whole airframe, and we are putting into this the guidance algorithm and so what we call GCN. So the thing is, this one is not using any pyro payload. This means you can use it into a civilian environment and also in critical infrastructure where you don't want to add on some collateral damages that will be not efficient. So again, when you compare this one with what I showed you on this vehicle, the Mistral, the aim is to be able to tackle the whole set of threats, so from micro mini up to bigger drones. What I didn't say is the current threat is mainly in Middle East, for example, Shahed. So we make an evolution of the Mistral, which is already granted to the customer. So today a customer which is buying a Mistral, for example, when he gets delivered, he has 3 capabilities: historical capability of the Mistral, but also capability to defeat Shahed, and another capability which is dealing with surface drones. So this is new, and it's fully qualified, and it's ready for our customer. Then what is not mentioned here, because MBDA is eager to tackle the whole threat, we are also partnering with an OEM which is called Altares, so a French company. This company has been famous in Ukraine because it's probably one of the only company which has been keen on going into Ukraine and tackle the real threat. But the thing is, what is done in Ukraine is not transposable into a Middle East or European context, because in fact, we have lots of CONOPS which are very different, and also regarding norms. So our core value is bringing our, again, DNA of missile maker and system maker into this partnership. And the true value is we are both working on the effector, but also on the system. So regarding the system, we will bring our Sky Warden system into a Middle East or any customer interested into this, and evolving the product. So this there are two products, one which is X-Lock, which is a quadcopter drone, and the other one which is called Fury, which is a fixed wing effector with a kind of a turbojet. The payload are different and the target set again is different. So we make it evolve in order to cope with our safety standards and also concept of operation.